Hello there, fellow Graphite Knights, and in this video we're going to be making the Frost Sword of Cerahlyhm. At least that's the working name for it, and let's get into it. Now, this sword is a sword of legend. It's a sword that, the common legend, folk legend, not a worldwide renowned legend. It's not like, oh, what's a legend that everybody knows? Like the Cinderella story is something that seems to exist across cultures and space and time, right? It's more of a niche kind of legend because not everyone's talking about swords every day. And so, without the internet in this age of storytelling, this is a fantasy environment. This sword is known really only by like a village, and those who know it love it. And maybe some expert swordsmen have heard of it, but it's not like, oh yeah, everybody knows how to get to that sword. But it's just been sitting in the forest, well guarded, enchanted with frost magic for many years. Hence the kind of snowflake design on the jewel of the handle. And it is, at least right now in the story, we're planning on having our guy, the Graphknight, come to claim it. He has a frost helmet. It'll go well with the set. It'll help him slay the Bagrolk. Although, at the end of the year, my plan is to publish book 1 of the Graphknight story. We'll have to see if that is the trajectory we end up hitting. That's the thought right now. And so we'll have to see if that's what really happens, and that'll be finally canonized. For now, though, that's the story. That's what we're thinking. This sword here in the forest is the one that will need to be claimed if he's going to get any further in his journey. And we kind of want it to have like a, we're thinking like cinematic effect when we look at the pictures. We want the composition to be pleasing and for things to be nice. So, the sword, I think in the story we're going to claim that the magic of it has this property that has also kept the trees from like encroaching over top of it, and like it's able to be viewed in a kind of circular plane that surrounds it without being covered over by trees. Or, it could be fun. You could do a different angle with it. You could have like trees next to it and like spiderwebs drooping off it. But really what we want to emphasize here is the frost element. And so that's another reason for it, I would say, that we could say, oh, the magic prevents trees from growing around it because it's always winter around this sword, which until its, master claims it, whoever the master is meant to be for that age, it's just releasing frost magic left and right. That's just kind of the do it does. And so we've got like a base screen down on these trees. We're going to go ahead and take a blue colored pencil and just kind of, work over it, make sure we've got some shading, some base shading down to be forming our blade. I think that for our blade it'd be cool, and you can kind of see I'm working on this with my outline here, to have a like a bronze or a gold like inner blade, so like an outer blade of ice and then an inner blade of like a steel or gold, whatever we decide it will be, and for it to be semi-transparent so you can kind of see that blade through it. I think that would be a lot of fun. Haven't quite decided why the stone's there. Maybe this sword was put there on purpose. What's your guys' take? Maybe this is like a spot for it to sit, like founded for it to sit on. We'll just have to wait and see. And since we're kind of looking at like a blue ice feel, I thought like, oh yeah, let's do some like yellows and some gold colors for the hilt and the handle, for the jewel, and for that inner blade piece. We'll craft out more of an ice feeling with that, but that's a good base mark, I think, for us. For now, we're going to take some gold, and we're also going to put it in the tree line for sunlight. We want to show that it's not like winter everywhere, but that it's winter here. And so we'll play with that a little bit. I think the sky, I'm going to try a blue out, but I think it'll end up being gray. For the blade, to make more ice patterns, we're going to take a white colored pencil and kind of just run through it, give it some scratches, give it some cuts and some juts through it. And then I'm going to take the black, because I do think like when you're sketching, black actually is a good way to shade, which is my take. Everybody's got a different one. It's okay. And it's fun to give things depth that way, especially in high fantasy. White and black, high contrasts are very, very powerful tools for storytelling, I think. And so I like to use them. I know there's a concern about being muddy. I'm okay with the mud. I think it's kind of cool. So, if that speaks to you, do that. And if don't, that's okay. If you got a better style or a different style for you, then that's awesome. I know a lot of people who create art I could never make, and art that I would love to emulate, who, are against doing it this way, but this is just the way it speaks to me. And so then we're going to take some snow. We're going to start putting it around it. We're going to take some ice and start melting it over the top of the hilt there. I have an animation that'll be on my channel of actual snow falling around it. You can kind of listen and see and partake in the story that way if you want to check out the shorts. That's typically where I do that. We're putting some snow on the stones, some snow on the ground, and some snow on the trees nearby just to communicate that it is having that effect. I felt like the sky was too clear. I felt like things needed to be a little bit darker. It needed to be a little more like having its moment. So we darkened the sky, we darkened the back trees, we put a ray of light on it to get it to stand out and just to look very strong and serious, really to give it its moment in the light, so to speak. Thanks so much for creating this with me, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.